again, everyone. I'm Paul the Nitro Scars. Welcome once again to another edition of the Nitro Corner. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Today is Sunday, and it is time for our classic match of the week. And because it is a Memorial Day weekend, as I promised you, 5 classic matches of the week. Let's get right into them. The first one you'll see comes from Detroit, Michigan, at the Joe Louis Arena on April 26th of 1986. As Hulk Hogan defends the World Wrestling Federation title against the late great Macho Man Randy Savage. That is our tribute to the Macho Man. It was an outstanding match, big crowd in Detroit. That was probably one of the hottest feuds in the early portion of 1986. That's from the Don't You Dare Miss It channel. Next up, we will go to the Masked Superstar fan channel, and we'll go back to 1978 in Charlotte. One of the hottest feuds ever in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling history was between two former best friends, as Nature Boy Ric Flair took on his former best friend, Blackjack Mulligan. But this time, it is a Texas death match between these two men. Of course, it all got started with the infamous hat and robe incident where Ric Flair dissed Blackjack Mulligan after Mulligan slapped the taste out of his mouth. Rick comes out there during Blackjack Mulligan's matchup with his custom-made hat that was given to him, to Blackjack, by Waylon Jennings. Flair destroys the hat. Well, Mulligan decides to one-up Flair by coming out in Ric Flair's sequin robe during Flair's matchup. Well, Blackjack decides to rip up the robe, and Flair proclaiming that Mulligan will be a dead man. Well, this was the epicenter of this hot feud between Ric Flair and Blackjack Mulligan. Next up, we go to 1980 in Miami, Florida, at the Miami Convention Center. The Florida Heavyweight title is on the line as the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, defends the title against the Magnificent One, Don Morocco, with Sir Oliver Humperdinck in his corner. That was courtesy of the Rayla 840 channel. At that time, both Fernandez and Morocco were red hot in the Florida territory, and probably two of the biggest up-and-coming stars in professional wrestling at that time. Next up, we'll take a look at a battle royal featuring Andre the Giant from the Fort Hurst Armory in Tampa, Florida in 1977. This is courtesy of the WWF Fan Nation channel. Andre truly was considered the king of the battle royals, and you'll see pretty good evidence as to why he was called that from this battle royal in 1977, featuring the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, and a whole host of other legends from the Florida territory. And finally, we will go back to January 1983, the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum, courtesy of the T72 Fins channel. It was a rematch as Nick Bockwinkel defends the AWA World Heavyweight title against the King, Jerry Lawler. Lawler previously thought he won the title back in December of '82, but because Bockwinkel's feet were on the ropes, Bockwinkel got to keep the belt, and now this was the subsequent rematch between these two men. Very intense and exciting. Well, I hope you enjoy those classic matches. Before I go, some quick news from 1CW. Courtesy of Sean Hardy's Facebook page. The event's name has changed. It will now be called the 1CW's Delaware Battle for Autism 2. It will take place July 23rd at the Camden, Wyoming Fire Hall, and he has promised a big main event with a very special guest referee. I will have more information about that as it comes to me, along with hopefully get the updated card within the next few weeks. But it is now called the Delaware Battle for Autism 2, July 23rd. And don't forget what has already been signed as the D-Line takes on the Nigerian Nightmares in a tag team grudge match. Well, that is it for this edition of the Nitro Corner. I'll be back tomorrow for the Nitro Opinion. Until then, I'm Paul the Nitro Scubber saying, so long everybody, happy Memorial Day weekend.